it's my birthday next week on Friday, September 13th. And I love, or I should say loved, when my birthdays fell on a Friday because Friday the 13th. And that doesn't happen very often. I think it happens every 5 years or so. And one of those times is this year, so that's next week, and I'll be turning 30. And I am dreading my birthday so much, and I really don't want to celebrate it, but it's not because I'm turning 30. It plays a part, but I've been dealing with the whole turning 30 thing when I had the beginning of my spiritual awakening when I was 27, and I went through what was a kind of a quarter life crisis, pretty much what most people go through in a midlife crisis, but I went through it when I was 27, so I already started grieving my youth and everything when I was 27. I don't know if that really makes sense, but I'm really dreading celebrating my birthday because I'm so depressed, and it's so hard for me to I don't really know how to say this. I was going to make another video called When Happy Things Make You Sad, and I think I still might make that video, and part of it was partly about my birthday, and I guess what I'm trying to kind of say is that when you're really depressed, or I should just speak for myself, as a really depressed person, I find things that used to make me happy and bring me joy to make me feel worse than I feel regularly. So I'm already feeling really bad and depressed and sad on a constant basis, but then when things happen or experiences or times like Halloween, Christmas, fall, my birthday, things that used to bring me so much joy and that should be happy, they actually make me a lot more depressed because of that contrast. And my mom has been saving up money so that on mine and my sister's 30th birthdays, she could take us on a trip. And my sister just turned 32 3 days ago, or a few days ago. And so 2 years ago on her 30th birthday, my mom took her for her trip that we were told we would get when we were 30. My sister actually had to delay hers by about, I think it was like 7 months or something, because she had got cancer a few months prior to turning 30, so she couldn't really leave because she was doing chemo and radiation and everything. But so my 30th birthday is coming up, and my mom has been asking me for about 2 years now what I want to do for my trip, and I have told her the entire time that I think I'm gonna get through this video without crying. I'm so proud of myself. There's gonna be another video. I say that because what I'm gonna talk about is something that made me upset and cry a lot for. Not that it's that sad, but whatever. I was gonna make a video soon titled, I think my depression is getting a little bit better, and it is. My depression is getting a little bit better, but I don't really want to speak it so publicly before, like, I don't want to just speak too soon type of thing. And plus, to say that my depression is getting better is like it just okay. So maybe I've had like some okay days in the past few weeks, and I'm feeling more hopeful, and I'm crying a little bit less. But based on my history, I could wake up tomorrow and want to end my life again. So I don't want to speak too soon. So before I really probably want to speak on that, I don't know, I just want to wait a little bit longer. I'm not saying my depression is cured. There's a big difference between it getting better versus cured. I wouldn't claim cured until at least it's been like at least 6 months to a year without depression, because I've never experienced that time span without having depression. The longest I've gone is like a month, maybe if I'm being generous, like 3 months. So, but anyway, so my mom has been asking me for 2 years now what I want to do for my birthday, and I have continually told her that being honest with myself and being realistic, I'm not going to be able to go on a trip because it wasn't even about my depression. It was about my long COVID, chronic fatigue, and my chronic headaches. And because I can't really leave the house or much or really do anything, it's not really possible for me to go on a trip. And I've been saying that the reality is that I probably won't be able to, but hopefully one day I will be able to, but that just won't be when I'm 30. And we kind of just thought, well, we'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll get better, things like that. So then last summer, so it was 28, almost about to turn 29, so over a year until my 30th birthday and my trip. My mom's asking me again what kind of trip I want to do, and she's trying to make plans for the trip, and I have to tell her that I really truly don't think I'm going to be able to, but cross my fingers and maybe I can. And I kind of decided that I'd want to go to, it's all fantasy because I can't go, but I want to go to Disney. I haven't been in a long time. It was either that or Mexico or something. But yeah, the time has come and there is no trip because I can't go. So it's really sad that I can't go. Not woe is me, I can't go on a trip. It's just more sad of the fact that I can't. I can live without the trip. I don't need to go on a trip. It's the fact that I am not capable of it. It's a really sad situation to be not able to go on a trip. That's not good. It's not a good situation. I'm physically incapable of doing it. Anyways, so that's not really what this video is about and why I'm dreading my birthday. But why I'm dreading my birthday is because when I'm depressed, or maybe everyone else is like this too, it's just so hard to be around people who want to celebrate things. And usually if it's not centered around you, you can just hide. I think that was my stomach. But when it's your birthday, people want to talk to you and you're more centered. And I asked my mom, I know my mom because she wanted to because my favorite things in the world, I love jack-o'-lanterns, I love balloons, I like clowns, and birthday candles. Oh, they're probably my favorite things. They just make me really happy. And when I was capable of happiness. But so I know she was going to be preparing and getting balloons, jack-o'-lantern balloons, and getting decor ready, doing kind of Halloween themed because that's what the things I like. And I didn't want her to waste money or anything, so I told her a few months ago, I was like, can we not celebrate my birthday? And that was kind of a hard thing to ask because I don't know, it's everyone knows that, and my family knows I'm depressed and the severity of it, but because they don't experience depression themselves, I don't really think they get it. They try to understand, but I don't really think they get it. And I just feel I feel bad to they want me to be better, and it's you're not better, and you just feel, you feel bad that that's the situation. And I asked her, I said, it's just too painful, for me to have to show up and celebrate my birthday. I escaped it last year by being out of the country and being away from everyone, so I didn't have to acknowledge it, so I could just avoid it. And it's not about aging. I'm having issues with that aspect of it, but that's not what this is about. It's about the attention. I don't want to be seen. I don't want to be looked at. I don't want to be acknowledged. Someone's going to want to take a picture of me. It's my birthday. I don't want pictures. It's I've never felt so my depression. It's hard with these videos because I don't know if you guys have been watching all my videos or if this is the first video you're watching, but I tried to speak to the people who have been watching my videos a long time because you guys are kind of actually following, but you guys know that my depression started since I have gained consciousness. I don't really remember a time not being depressed, but it really got bad when I was early 20s, and it's progressively gotten worse and worse and worse. And the worse it's gotten, the more I used to be this social person who used to like attention and like talking to people and being social and just being out and my birthdays were always such big things, not like big like money wise, but I just love them, and I get balloons. I do it like cheap myself, and I just was like, my birthday, like I love balloons and celebration and just happiness, and it was fall and everything was happy and I was good. And even when in my most depressed years, I still found joy during that time. But as the years have gone on, the more the depression has gotten deeper and harder to I just got worse. Just depression just got worse and worse and worse. And the more I've been wanting to become smaller and smaller and smaller, and with that means that I want to not be seen, like I want to disappear. A lot of times I don't want to do these videos because I don't want my face on the camera. I don't want to be seen. I want to be invisible. Like I want to disappear. I don't want to not exist. I don't want to end my life. I want to be alive. I actually do want that, but I just don't want to kind of exist. So anything that is putting me like this, it's like I don't like it. So I always have so much stuff I want to talk about on YouTube with you guys, but like I don't want my face being on the camera, and I don't want to just, you know, like film like a wall, like it just you know, and I don't have the energy to type. So yeah, I don't really want to be seen. So it's my birthday's coming up, and I told my mom in advance a few months ago, I'm like, please, can we just not celebrate? I was like, can we just not, like, I don't want to. It's so painful for me. It's so sad and depressing for me to know how painful it is for me to act like I'm okay. Because, you know, people are going to be like, oh, happy birthday. And it's like, thanks. And it's like you're trying everything to just be normal, but inside you feel like you're dying inside. And you have to, like, pretend for other people that you're okay. And I know people say, like, don't pretend that, don't pretend that you're not depressed. I'm not pretending that I'm not depressed. My family knows that I'm depressed, but there's a certain point when you have long-term depression. There's a very, like, I actually kind of, like, bothers me when people always say that, because it's just like, when you have chronic lifelong depression, like, it's not the fact that it's bringing down other people when I'm depressed around them. Like, it's the fact that I'm bringing down me by having to deal with them seeing me for what my depression really is. Like, it's easier, like, they know I'm depressed, because when people ask me, how are you doing, I'm like, I'm fine, like, I'm getting through it, I'm okay. I never am like, I'm good. I never lie. I'm always like, you know, I struggle with depression, and I just kind of, like, keep it neutral, even though the truth is I'm so below neutral and so much worse than that. But if I go around and act my true self of, like, my really depressed self, and on the verge of tears, I can barely get out of bed, I'm going to have to deal with everybody else's reactions to that, and, like, them being, like, so concerned about me, and they want to help me, and I'm not complaining about them wanting to help me. There's nothing wrong with people wanting to help me, but when you're chronically long-term depressed, lifelong, they're not going to be able to help you. Like, they can support you in some ways, but they're not going to help you. So it's better for everyone, and mostly, looking out for myself, it's better for me to just mask it. To mask the depression when I'm with people and with family. Again, I'm not lying about it. I definitely am open about it, but I just try to act a little more normal for my sake, so that I can just get through it, because that's all I'm trying to do, is get through it. And yeah, so I was just thinking about my sister's birthday. It wasn't even a big birthday. It was so small. We just had, like, my grandparents over for, like, dinner, and my mom did, like, birthday balloons and, like, you know, like, happy 30th birthday, and she'd made, like, an album of, like, stuff from every single year of her birthday, and cake, and I think we, like, dressed, I don't know, pink or something, and I felt sick about thinking about having that, because it's just, like, I'm so sad, and I can't even enjoy it, and, like, I'm not gonna do it. Cry, unless you, is what I meant. I'm not gonna cry, because I was going to, and I'm not going to. You guys know my tell of probably right before I'm gonna cry, but I fought that. I'm proud of myself. But yeah, it's just, like, really depressing that imagining this whole thing with all these jack-o'-lanterns and things that I love. And I'm standing there with, I was in a bed, I'll be in bed all day, barely up to get out of bed, crying myself and talking myself up to go and celebrate my birthday. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing something that is so painful for me? I don't want to do it. So my mom agreed that we don't have to, and she said, well, what can we do? And let's at least go for dinner. And I'm like, oh my God, can nobody say happy birthday to me? Can we just pretend it's not real? But that's kind of escapism, right? So we settled on, for my 30th birthday, there's these, I like doneras. Doneras apparently aren't very common in the world, or in America, but in Canada, in the east side, and then in Alberta, we have a lot of doneras, but just a little hole-in-the-wall joint that sells doneras that I like, and I was like, let's just go get doneras. That's it, please. I don't want to make this a thing, and let's make it the most nothing. I don't want any candles. Even candles are one of my favorite things in the world, one of those beautiful things in the world, but they just make me sad. It makes me sad. I feel like this topic I really want to talk about is when happy things make you sad, but it makes me sad when things that, sorry, this is probably annoying you guys. It makes me sad when things that once made me happy, their presence makes me sad, because it's painful to try and be happy, and it's looking at this candle. I know candles doesn't make sense to you guys. I just love birthday candles. They just make me happy. Birthday candles, balloons, jack-o'-lanterns, clowns. I love them. All year round, not just whatever season they're meant for. It just makes me really sad, because it just reminds me of how unhappy I am, and how depressed I am, and how incapable I am of feeling joy. And it reminds me of things that once used to make me happy. Even in my worst, darkest times, it was something that could still bring a smile to my face, and I had some sense of joy and purpose and meaning and desire to exist, and it's not there anymore. And that's a reminder. It's a reminder of my horrible state of existence. I can't even stand looking at myself. It's yeah. So that's that. My birthday's coming up. Wish me luck.